In 1638, the entire village of Dully-on-Ipswich was destroyed because some little jerk got mad at a friend and started burning a barn, and the barn got to be such fun that it ran up and started bumping into other houses on fire. And then it got worse. Jacobus, look at what you've done. Oh, it wasn't me, Mama, I don't remember. We'll come back to that. So, don't do it. Slide 14. Oh. Gets worse when I'm tired. Orbis! We have to move quickly because we've run out of sand. Crumb.
It's 11:35.
Oh! What have you been doing? You're not supposed to run that fast. You're 45 minutes, not 35. Slytherin technology. Cheating. I want to go to lunch. No. Everyone stay. Orbis is fun. It sucks a person into the ground. And if they're levitating, it pulls them right down to the ground. It appears as an azure whirlwind that encases the levitating target, wrapping them in earth and shooting off blue sparks. If you see that happening, run like heck. Because someone's being a jerk. Now, we have the stinging chicks. Now, the write-up on this tells us this is a very dark charm, but really it's not. It produces stings on your flesh, red brand marks as if you've just been touched by a flaming hot brand. This really, 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 really hurts. However, and it can cause swelling, and it can cause fever, and the welts will appear for discomfort of your target, and then it wears off in a matter of minutes. Yeah.
Not so bad then.
So, it's not as bad as calling Comcast. The pain goes away fast.
Calling Comcast is cable.
But if you're very good, it can last for days. And by very good, I mean very skilled, not very good, because if you wouldn't do this if you were going, this would be a joke. Now, there is another jinx. I don't know why this is even in here. It is the anti-dissipation. You'll figure it out how to say it yourself. Anti-dissipation. And it's not the anti... Don't run away. It's not the anti-participation curve.
Anti-disapparation.
Angel. No point. I'm flustered now. The anti-disapparation. This thing. Basically, if someone wants to get away, you cast this and they don't. Now, if they're very good, they might apparate anyways, but that's okay. Maybe they'll leave you by not present, like their left leg. Don't drink and apparate, kids. Lynching is real. Yes.
Isn't anti-disapparation a double negative? Wouldn't it be easier to say the apparation jinx?
Or anti-apparation. Yes.
Maybe you're keeping people from leaving.
Well, yoga might have a future in magical law, won't you? Good for you.
Litigation.
Good for you. Yes, I hadn't even thought of that. That's probably why I can't pronounce it, because something in it is just a vile abomination against language. We're not arguing that now. We're running out of time. We have to get on to the unforgivable curses. Speaking of unforgivable, the previous professor who prepared this presentation called the unforgivable curses unmentionable. Well, that's just stupid. Of course we're going to mention them.
So basically like
Now,
back curses.
these are the three most powerful, not really, and sinister, not really, spells known to the wizarding world. We already actually know that there are many other spells that are deadly, like the Teletarius' spell. Fortunately, that spell died with him. But there are other spells like it. They're tools of the dark arts, and they were first classified as unforgivable in 1717. This is before the Goblin Wars of the 18th century. We had already classified against these. If any goblin tries to tell you that they were forgivable for use against goblins during the Goblin Wars, you just tell them to shut their little pointy-nosed faces. Because they're lying.
Ooh.
Unless the people who made the documents of the 1717 Covenant decided to just retroactively date and age their speculative documents. All right, don't pick on the goblins. It's possible someone was lying. In any event, sorry about that. You don't have to make a note of that. It will not appear on any of the quizzes and will not appear on any of your exams. That's a theory I'm going to probably spend the rest of my life pursuing. Is 1717 Accord a genuine thing or a fabrication? No, life's too short. Never mind. Now, these are, of course, the Killing Curse, the Cruciatus Curse, and the Imperious Curse. By the 1990s, using any of these three curses on another human being, muggle, or wizard would result in a life sentence to Azkaban, unless there was sufficient evidence that the caster did so under the influence of the Imperious Curse, which means you had no choice. You are operating what the muggle legal system would call under duress. And therefore, your actions are forgivable. Please remember that while you are under, if you ever find yourself under an Imperious Curse, you go, oh, dude, Imperious Curse.
If I'm under an Imperious Curse, I can't be held legally liable for all the things I do. I'm gonna start that barn on fire. Oh, yeah. And they'll just blame the evil wizard who put this curse on me.
Don't do that! Because that means you're being
A jerk.
and you're on your way to evil. Although you'll get away with it. You're still a jerk. Just because the law can't catch you. So, Aurors are permitted to use these curses, but only to find information vital to solve cases. Don't use it just to find information for cases as your first resort. Gosh, I want to find out what's going on here. Imperious. Cruciatus. Oh dear, I seem to have used those on an innocent victim. That's not the pursuit of justice, kids. That's being
A jerk.
You guys are learning this so good. I'm giving you all top marks.
Hey.
All right. Since they are so powerful, they require great willpower and great skill. Now, Imperious is from Imperio, a corruption of Impero, Latin for I command. Places the victim in a trance or dream-like state, an experience is described as a wonderful release from any sense of responsibility, making the victim under its power profoundly susceptible to the influence of the caster, whose hold on their free will is deeply rooted in part by the victim's unwillingness to impart with the comfortable sensation and in part by their newfound lack of moral perspective. So heroin! Don't do it. Drugs are bad, okay? Go. Act. It will make them believe that they have done things of their own free will. You can convince them of anything. I don't know, Ma. I don't know why I've started the barn on fire, but I do assure thee that it were not my intent. It must have been an accident. I don't know. Well, Azkaban was going to be built just for a guy like that. Even though we later discovered he was quite innocent. Because it was his cousin who burned down the village with fiend fire. And the moral of the story is, if your cousin's a jerk, stop playing with them. Now, then we have Cruciatus. It means I torture, from crucio in Latin. It's originating from crux, which is the genitive of crucis, which means torture, platform, or stake, or more specifically, it is a cross. The word excruciating is descended from the same root, crucifixion. Crucifixion was a form of torturous execution. The Cruciatus curse inflicts excruciating pain upon, well, obviously, that's rather just axiomatic. The cruciatic curse gives you excruciating pain. That's like saying the pancake curse gives you pancake pain. What other kind of pain would it give you? Thanks, poor editing. Extreme pain, curse, Death Eaters, yes. But it hurts a lot. But we've seen other spells that hurt a lot too, don't we? How come they're not forgiven? Well, in part because with this spell, for it to really work, you've got to really want them to hurt. Let's see,